Now we have to move on the 5 more questions. The 13th question is explain parts of the table. Parts of the table is a table number, title of the table, head note, captions, body of the table, footnote, source note. Table number. A table should always be numbered for identification and a reference in future. Title of the table. Each table should be given a suitable title. It must be written on the top of the table and must describe its content. Head note. It is a statement given below the table and enclosed in brackets. Example, the units of measurements is written as a head note such as in millions. Captions. These are column headings. They must be brief and self-explanatory. Body of the table. It contains the numerical information. It is the most important part of the table. The arrangement in the body is generally from left to right in rows and from top to bottom in columns. Footnote. If any explanations regarding any items is necessarily, footnote should be given. This is given at the bottom. Source note. It refers to the source from where information has been taken. It is useful to the reader to check the figures and gather additional information. The next question is 14th question. Explain subdivided bar diagram with example. The bar diagram is subdivided into various parts in proportion to the values given in the data and may be drawn on absolute figures or percentages. Each component occupies a part of the bar proportional to its share in the total. To distinguish them, we can give different colors or shades. Example, represent the following data in a suitable diagram. District A, B, C are given. The populations, male population and female population is given. In A district, male population 1000, female population 500. In B district, male population is 1200, female population 600. In C district, male population is 1300, female population is 900. The total strength in A is 1500, in B 2000, in C 2200. So we can draw the subdivided bar diagram. First we can draw the male population. So and then district consider as x-axis and the population value consider as a y-axis. So first I can draw the male population values 1000. So I can draw the 1000 bar diagram up to 1000. So it gives us some different shades, and then after that 1000 plus 500 become 1500. So after that areas are female population. So similarly for B and C we get the subdivided bar diagram. The next question is briefly explain the advantages of sampling methods. The first one is sampling method requires less time as only as a part of the population is included. Since only a part of the population is included for the data collection, the cost of on data collection will be less. The third one is with a suitable method of sampling selection, the results could be more reliable. And the fourth one is there are certain occasions only sampling method is possible. For example, when a patient has to undergo blood test, it has to be done through his blood samples. And the fifth one is, sometimes in research, unless sample is used, there is every possibility for the finding to become out of data. The sixth one is, one special advantages of sampling method is that there are different types of sampling depends upon the necessary and relevance. Appropriate type could be selected. This would be enable sticking to scientific method of data collection. The 16th question is, daily earnings of 10 families of a particular village. The find out geometric mean. The data has been given 85, 70, 15, 75, 500, 8, 45 to 50, 40, 36. We can use the formula geometric mean equal to anti-log of summation log x by n. So first I can calculate log x. So x has been given, so 85, 70, 15, 75, 500, 8, 45 to 50, 40, 36. So I can take log 85 values 1.924, log 70 is 1.8451, log 15 is 1.7.61, log 75 is 1.8751, log 500 is 2.6989, log 8 is 0.9031, log 45 is 1.6532, log 250 is 2.3979, log 40 is 1.6021, log 36 is 1.5563. So we can take a summation log x value is 17.6372. So geometric mean equal to anti-log of summation log x by n. So log x summation log x value is 17.6372, and n is total number of observation is 10, so divided by 10, so we get anti-log of 1.76372. We take an anti-log, then geometric mean is 58.03901. And the 17th question is, when x and y are two discrete random variables, then show that e of x plus y equal to e of x plus e of y. That is, expectation of x plus y equal to expectation of x plus expectation of y. Let x and y be two discrete random variable. Let us consider e of xy equal to summation j from 1 to infinity, summation I from 1 to infinity, xi plus yi into p of xi comma yi. That's the definition of e of x. E of x or a definition. So we can split the summation value. First of all, we can apply the p of x. So summation I equal to 1 to infinity, summation j is equal to 1 to infinity, xi into p of xi comma yj plus summation j equal to 1 to infinity, summation I equal to 1 to infinity, yj comma p of xi comma yj. Then rearrange the summation, we get summation I equal to 1 to infinity xi pi of xi plus summation j is equal to 1 to infinity yj into p of yj. Then finally we get e of x plus y equal to e of x plus e of y.